I already figured that out.
It's Friday afternoon in early August 2025. Christie Loveless, her husband David, and childhood friend Leslie are sitting at a table on the Cotton Court patio.
Thank you.
Christie's son Kolby arrives, carrying 2 graduation caps and gowns on hangers, along with a series of stoles. And around his neck is a big national championship medal. He was part of Tech Co-Ed Cheer, who won the title last spring. Kolby is tall and athletic, with a handsome face and a trimmed mustache, a recent addition to accompany his symbolic step out of college and into adulthood. It's warm, but Christie is well put together in a cream and black sleeveless sweater and red tailored shorts. In just a couple of hours, Christie will watch Kolby graduate with his master's in business administration. It's an exciting moment that has come at the perfect time, especially considering that the very next day, she will have her own moment to shake the president's hand, receiving the diploma that she didn't get to claim roughly 40 years ago when her college journey started. So let's go back a bit. Christie was in 3rd grade when her parents split up. It's what relocated her family from New Jersey to the Dallas area. She opted out of continuing the Ivy League legacy her parents laid out to follow a different set of footsteps, marching ones.
My older brother, Kolby's uncle, Doug, he played the saxophone. He was a very talented musician. And he came here to play in the Going Band. It was the only school I applied to. I was like, well, my brother's there. I guess I'll go there. And, if I was going to go out on my own, I may as well go where my brother is.
Christie didn't join the Going Band like Doug, but it was a relief to know that she had him on campus. Leslie did not start her college career at Tech, but it didn't stop her and her mom, Patsy, from making that adventure a special one for Christie.
My mom was not part of my college experience. She never even came here. She didn't drop me off. She didn't pick me up. Nothing. Leslie's mom did. And Leslie's mom, Patsy, was a Zeta here. And she came here for Rush because I didn't have a mom. I probably would have gone to Rush in my pop collar ISOD and my boat shoes. I didn't know these things.
It was the mid-'80s after all, the fall of 1985 to be exact. And an 18-year-old Christie leaned on Patsy to be her guide.
She bought all my Rush wardrobe. She was here through the whole thing. I didn't get Zeta. I got 85. But she came and did all that for me. She bought me my pref dress. She took me to get my hair done and my makeup done. When I would come home in the summers from college and go stay at my dad's, she would take me shopping for school clothes. She was a mother to me.
Leslie would end up transferring to Tech and making Lubbock her home after her freshman year. She and Christie had reunited in person, and while they fell back into step as old friends, they pursued different passions and lives on campus. Life was good, until a phone call in the middle of the night would completely turn both of their lives upside down.
I was asleep. It was probably, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And the phone rang. And back then, we didn't have a cell phone, that was dinging all night or whatever. It was, the telephone at the house, and you answered it because if somebody was calling you on the telephone at the house, and there was a problem. And actually, my roommate answered the phone, and she said, "Hey, Christie, Leslie's on the phone." And she said, "Patsy's dead." And I said, What? Then I had to wake myself up. And she said that she and her brother Wayne was a student here as well. She and her brother Wayne were getting on an airplane. I think she might have called me from the airport. And I said, well, I'm right behind you. I called my dad, who was, I think, in San Francisco at the time on business. And I said, Patsy's dead. And my dad and Patsy were very close. He said, I'll get you an airplane ticket, go to the airport.
Christie has told this story before, but never publicly. she and Leslie spent 10 days back home in the overwhelming whirlwind of questions and shock. They would come to learn that not only was Patsy gone, but that she had been murdered. It's a case that to this day remains unsolved. It was unbelievable, all of it. While the funeral arrangements were being set, Patsy's family and investigators were learning more about the moments leading up to her death. They had uncovered that in the early morning hours of her death, Patsy had called her sister Sally in a panic. She had taken some NyQuil to help her sleep, but had woken up feeling violently ill. While still on the phone with her sister, Patsy collapsed. It was just after 3 a.m., and Sally and her husband jumped in the car and raced over to Patsy's house. By the time they were able to find a way into her home, Sally and her husband found Patsy in her bedroom. Their attempts to wake her up were unsuccessful, and shortly after paramedics arrived, they rushed her to the hospital. It wasn't long after that Patsy was pronounced dead. The mystery and the weight of it all was overwhelming for Patsy's family, and for a young Christie who would take that overnight call in the kitchen of her college apartment from her childhood friend. 8 days after the funeral, an autopsy revealed traces of a substance called strychnine in Patsy's system. It's a highly toxic poison often used to kill small animals like rodents.
We came back and we tried to kind of restart our life, but Leslie had a panic attack one night, and I had to, drive her 100 miles an hour down the brownfield highway, when it was really the brown highway in a field.
Life had interrupted Christie and Leslie's college experiences. Nothing returned back to the way it was when Patsy was here. It was all different because they were different. And tragedy is like that. It threatens to steal your peace of mind and your security. It rocks your relationships, changing your perspective forever. But Leslie and Christie had each other. Neither of them continued at Tech that semester. They returned home to the Dallas area thinking only about putting one foot in front of the other. Literally, going one day at a time. Christie is sharp and tough. She's charismatic and funny. It's what makes her so likable, and what might have unlocked a door to her future after leaving Tech.
I got an apartment, I got a job as a waitress, and one of my regular customers was a lawyer who said, you want to come work in my office? You seem like a smart chick or whatever, So I did, and I started out as a receptionist, and then I was a legal secretary, and then I was a paralegal, and eventually I owned my own process serving business. And then I was hired by the Tarrant County Courts. I had a great career, and I was making plenty of money, so it never really was like, oh, I should try to finish.
She had a successful career in law, spent 6 years as the head of the state association, served on the board of the Texas Association for Court Administration for 10. She defied the odds and did it all without a degree. So it was never about getting a better job or making more money. She had also raised a son to be determined, and she was proud of him. The mother heart in her was satisfied. And still, she often thought about that woman who was a mother to her, who brought her to Lubbock for the first time and helped her begin a chapter that had not yet been completed. Maybe it was unfinished business for Christie, and maybe it was also for Patsy. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Leslie Cranford. I'm a lead storyteller for marketing and communications. A lot of the stories I write feature online learners just like Christie. In fact, when she joined the program, I spent a lot of time talking to her about what made this journey so special for her. She talked about her advisor, Osvaldo Dominguez, or Oz. He has helped dozens of adult learners realize their dreams of finally earning their degree. He brings into sharper focus how important the human aspect of learning is. I encourage you to read more about his story. You can find it linked in the description of this episode.
Christie had thought about finishing her degree for years, but it was the shutdown from the pandemic that brought it front and center. She said she was sitting on her couch one night, scrolling through what was Twitter at the time, when she came across an ad for something called the 10K Degree Completion Program. She was intrigued, but she didn't know where to start. so she called over to the Texas Tech DFW site and scheduled an appointment. She worked with a counselor named Oz, and they pulled together her old records, looked at her hours, what she had completed. They did a whole credentialing process. And she found out that she was only lacking about 30 hours. And that was doable.
I mean, they got you in a chair. They got you opening books and taking tests and learning Blackboard, which I called chalkboard, for a month.
But before she decided officially to go back to school, she wanted to see what her son Kolby thought about it.
Well, so it's always been like a joke that whenever I started coming to Tech, she was like, I'm going to finish my degree with you. And I was like, no, you're not. That's my moment. Hello. Okay, not too much. So I graduated for the first time with my undergrad. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to keep doing cheerleading because how long am I going to be this young and good at cheerleading? And it had like kind of gotten tossed around, ha ha, hee hee, blah, 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 whatever. I'll go back. I'll finish my degree. And one day we were at Fred's in Fort Worth, just having food. Why was I in town?
I don't even remember.
No.
Oh, it might have been the Christmas holiday. No, it was in the fall.
I was in town for something, and she sat me down, and she was just like, I'm going to go back. I'm getting my degree from the DFW location. There's a 10K completion plan. I'll be done with you in August whenever you finish your master's. Tears. I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so cool that we get to graduate together. I'm so proud of you. Like, that's to go back and do it and finish it just for yourself and not even for any kind of reason, just to say that you are a bachelor of whatever, whatever you are a bachelor of. And yeah, just because it's important to you. And I'm seriously so proud of her. And then we had a margarita and that was that.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
yeah,
cheers.
no, literally cheers.
Christie says doing college this time around was different, but she was having a great time, learning and having people to do it with, especially Kolby, who helped keep her in line.
And they have her working. Oh my God, she's calling me all the time with all of her homework. And I'm like, babe, quit the homework, girl. It ain't that. Which she's a perfectionist and all of that kind of stuff. She worked hard for that degree.
I do. I have. But I've always liked to learn. I enjoy it. Yeah, I would call him and I would say, oh, I had a presentation due and it was only supposed to be max 4 minutes and mine's 12 minutes, which I do. And he said, your classmates are going to hate you. I go,
literally, I'm like, shut up. They're going to hate you. Stop.
He's like, start over. And I'm like, it's due at midnight. And it was like 10 till.
You work so hard. I'm so proud of you.
Together, they are this fireball of energy, crackling with quick wit. They often talk over each other and finish each other's sentences. It's endearing and fun. Almost everyone who uses the 10K program to finish their degree is like Christie. They started something years ago and for whatever reason, didn't finish. They're mostly working individuals, adults, most of them with families and responsibilities and life outside of school. So that's one of the things that makes this program so unique, that the faculty, the advisors, the classmates, they all get you. And they got Christie. The other students, like Christie, all wanted to prove something to themselves. Christie wanted to embody that thing that she had told Kolby his whole life, that you finish what you start. What made you emotional about it? Was it because it was a thought and then now it was like a plan?
Yeah.
Like the reality of that?
It was like a joke that we had always said. And I think she was serious about it. And she's always been a person who has taught me to set goals. And don't make me cry on this podcast right now. Stop it. Oh my God, I might cry this morning. She's been a person who has always taught me to set goals and reach for those goals and don't stop until you attain those goals. And like, whenever, stop. You've already cried this morning at practice and I can't do it again. And so whenever she said that she was going to go back and do this with me, and I had known that she had set a goal and that she was going to complete it and that we were going to graduate together in August in a year and a half. Also, just that we're going to be Red Raiders for life. Like, I'm always going to be a Red Raider for life. I have the ring, I have the diploma and all that kind of stuff, but like now she's going to be all official. We ordered her class ring this December. She got it for Christmas. And now she's going to have the paper. So we're going to be, like, it runs in the family now.
I feel like since Kolby came back to school here, like, honestly, one of my biggest pleasures is keeping up with the football games, keeping up with the team, turning on the basketball game. I packed my basketball jersey on my trip to Albuquerque so I could put it on when I.
Christie takes a lot of pride in watching Kolby do what he loves. While he cheered, she would be at as many basketball and football games as she could.
I feel like it's really one of the most enjoyable things I do now is look forward to a game, turn it on, TV at home. I guess it's given me a little hobby to do instead of just, the grind, the work, and the whatever. And and it's something that I've missed with that big gap. Even though I did live my life like I was a graduated alumni Red Raider.
He's kind of been like a spark to reignite something that was in you already.
Yeah.
And because of this, all of these programs that I've kind of intertwined myself into, I can do anything with it. I have, if I want to go pursue a future in media, I can do that. If I want to pursue a future in business, I can go do that. Athletics, coaching, all of these things, all of these connections, and all this, network that I built, it's from this location in this place. And so from here, it's literally possible for me to go off and do whatever I want to do.
We're back at the patio at the Cotton Court now, about to get into our cars and take Kolby to his commencement ceremony on campus. But not before Leslie and Christie have a moment to reflect on the life the two have shared over their 40-year friendship.
This woman has been there for me always. We've been friends a long time. And there's times when you tell people, oh my gosh, Christie and I've known each other since kindergarten. They're like, what? People don't stay friends that long. And it's been said, if you have at least 5 good friends, you may have, thousands on social media, but if you have 5 true good friends, you're lucky. We can always come back to each other and everything just falls right into place. It's pretty sweet.
Sometimes the sweetest moments are the ones that have gotten better with time. And this is like that. The chapter that remained open for 4 decades finally has a close. And yet, it seems that maybe the end has always been written, just waiting to play out. It's not a coincidence that if Kolby had graduated a semester or a year early when he had the opportunity to, he wouldn't have become a national champion. He wouldn't have been able to be there to graduate in the same weekend as his mom. He could have ended his college career as an undergrad and moved on with his life. But he stayed to get his master's, and he gave Christie a gift that is more valuable than money. She watched him live out his dream on the stage and in the ocean waves of Daytona Beach. And she got to fall into step with him and take what has been waiting for her all this time.
Christie Loveless.
The president congratulates her with a job well done. She shakes his hand and poses for a picture. As she's walking away, she tells him, I'm Kolby's mom. He's known about their story, about Christie's determination to come back and get her degree. Today, Kolby is thriving in the world of cheerleading, where he's an assistant coach for Lubbock Christian University. Christie works as a real estate agent. She and Leslie actually work in the same office. I think that among all the great things that the two of them have accomplished, it would make Patsy most proud to see that they've done so much of it together. If you want to learn more about the 10K Degree Completion Program or Texas Tech Online, you can find links to both in the episode description. Fearless is produced by Texas Tech Marketing and Communications. It's hosted and written by me, Taylor Peters, and edited by Thomas Boyd. Fearless is a Texas Tech production. From here, it's possible.